about this amazing layout today?
The amazing layout. Well, the kids could tell you more about the layout than I can, but the evolution part of the Evolutions program is to be able to showcase their work to authentic audiences, right? So to invite the community in to see what they did. The products are great, but what's better is to talk to them about the process of how they got there. It's really, this program is far more about the process of getting here than the actual product that they create. And hearing about their failures and how they overcome those and persevere through those things, those are great stories.
So let me guess, you're going to keep this program going?
I'll do everything I can to keep this program going. Parents tell me all the time that it changes their kids' lives, so and for the better. So.
Do you have like a few favorites here tonight? What took you by surprise?
You know what? I didn't know how well Owen could play guitar. He is incredible. You have to see him in the demonstration bending his notes. So I was a little surprised by that. But
the paranormal activity here?
I haven't had a chance to check that out yet, so I have to get over here and do that.
Well, lucky for you, there's cake.
Oh, the cake is good?
Yeah, there's a 3-tiered cake that way. It's
awesome.
One of the projects. So.
All right, I'll go check it out. Awesome.
Thank you.
You bet.
Basically, my project was how technology influenced hip-hop's rise to becoming the #1 genre in the country. And through like social media and streaming services, I was able to find like there was a connection between how technology's growth helped hip-hop's growth.
So is this a year-long project?
No, this was a project that took about a month.
And how long is the class for, the Evolutions program?
It's about 4 hours a day.
And what did you like best about it?
I like that I got the freedom to choose a topic I was interested in, and then I was able to learn how to research and how to come up with a project by myself and my own topic that I was engaged in.
So the entire project took up until today to complete because unbeknownst to me, the animation process takes a lot longer than I originally thought. So drawing each and every frame, because I did frame-by-frame animation, took a lot of time. But I'm really proud of the end result.
Did you put together a story?
Yeah, I wrote a personal narrative about how I got into animation and why I chose it as my topic. And it's a little 3-minute video that includes other styles of animation as well as my own animations. Oh, I use a program called Wik Editor, which is just a free online browser that I've been working and learning how to use through videos and stuff.
Very cool. And how do you like the Evolutions project or the program?
It's really interesting to me for project-based learning because I work a lot better doing projects and working on stuff that I enjoy instead of sitting down and taking a test for an hour. So this has really worked for me.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Simon Zaleski.
And you're a senior?
I'm a junior, yeah.
And what's your project on?
My project is on the different types of animation. So for that, I researched all these different types that people use professionally and made a video on it right here.
How many types are there?
Well, there's a lot of types, but there's some main ones I decided to focus on, like stop motion, claymation, cell animation, digital animation, rotoscoping. Yeah.
What is rotoscoping?
Okay, so yeah, most people don't know about this, but there's a type of animation where you take a video and you put it into some sort of software, whatever you want, and you draw over it and basically make the animation from real life video.
That sounds very complicated.
Yeah.
So how'd you like this project?
I liked it a lot. It was pretty hard because I didn't know exactly the direction where my project was going from the beginning. But I still really liked it because I got to explore something I'm interested in. So yeah.
And what's your favorite kind of animation?
I'd say claymation because I was a big fan of Wallace and Gromit when I was a kid.
That's exactly what that's.
Yeah.
So I did my project on the physics of kicking a soccer ball.
And what did you find?
And so basically what I discovered is that the speed of the ball and the power of the shot depends all on the momentum of the leg when it hits the ball. And so I focused on, as you can see on the back, different speeds that occur on the ball when the leg has different momentum.
And did you take into account the spin motion?
I did some research on that. I was not able to show it here, but I read a lot about it and it's interesting, yeah.
And do you turn this on? Do the lights go on, or do you actually demo it? Or?
No, I have to do it with my hand, but what I do is I pull this back and it hits the ball.
So what was your favorite part of doing this project?
Definitely building it was a lot of fun. It was frustrating at times because I sort of had to go through trial and error, but definitely the building part was the most fun.
I'm Liz McDougall, and I did my project on the Great Barrier Reef.
Very cool. How'd you come up with this idea?
So this summer I went to the Caribbean, and I went scuba diving and snorkeling, and so I got inspired through that. And I've never been to the Great Barrier Reef, but I thought it would be really interesting.
Wow. How do you like the Evolutions program?
I really like it. I think it's really cool and a lot different than it was, like school was before, so I really like it.
And how long did it take you to compile all this information and put it together?
It took me about 4 weeks, and then it took me a week to build the actual model.
So this looks very interesting. Tell us about this.
So for my project, I wrote an addendum to the UN to alter child labor laws across the world. So for this, I chose 3 specific labor laws that I thought should be changed. So for the claim for my project, I decided that I wasn't going to say that I'm going to try to erase child labor, because I just thought that this issue was, like, it really came close to my heart when I was like, when I'm searching for brands, I really try to search for brands that don't use child labor in their manufacturers. But I decided that this issue was completely unsolvable, and then in many third world countries, for child labor is just unsolvable and unrealistic to be solved. So I just said that the laws that they have should just be altered to benefit the kids more. So I said that, like, if children are to work, they're supposed to work this amount of hours. Specifically, employers have to pay them this amount of money, and they're not allowed to exploit kids anymore. So I thought that I thought this was like a really interesting way to go about the project, instead of me standing here saying I'm going to solve child labor, because I really don't think that's an issue that can be solved. So by highlighting parts of the laws that I thought really benefited the children, and I changed the language so that the kids could have better circumstances when they go to work, so then they don't have to be in danger every day.
Wow, that is very impressive. An addendum to the UN. Very cool. And what's the Nike symbol over there? What does that have to do with it?
So Nike often has found to use child labor in their manufacturers. So there's often been these protests where people are trying to protest the inhumane work hours that children are working for. And like, I know in the past, like, I definitely have bought Nike clothes all the time. So like, it really made me take a step back and realize, like, where are these clothes coming from, which was a really big influence in this project.
And what was your favorite part about doing this?
Definitely learning how to write an addendum. I had no idea what an addendum was before this project, so I thought that when I was looking at like past examples and like which ones were impactful and which ones weren't, I thought, like, this is really cool, and I never thought I could do this without Evolutions. Like, I never would have been able to.
Wow, how impressive. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
It's very cool. All right, so tell me your full name.
So I'm Tom Hennis, coordinator of the Evolutions program.
So this is quite a setup you have here.
Yeah, this is our 4th year of doing these Midstone Expos. So it's the middle of the year. It's where we give them 3 weeks to basically choose what they want to learn, execute that learning, and then present how they want to learn with us being coaches and not necessarily telling them what to do. And then a real big part of it is showing off to parents and community members. It really brings it outside of the classroom and makes it authentic. We feel it with them of, like, they get nervous because, like, oh, people are going to see this and I have to talk to them about it. And it's just a great way to kind of show where they're at here at the middle part of the year.
So what was the one thing that really surprised you about this year's crop?
For this year's crop, their intensity. You know, we started the process, and in past years, like, kids kind of like, I'm kind of going. This year, we would walk in and they'd be working for the 4 or 5 hours we see them every day. And they'd take breaks, of course, but just like they got really into their project so much more than maybe we have seen in past years.
And how many years has the Evolution Project been running now in the high school?
So this is our 4th year. We're going to our 5th year, so we're recruiting now for next year. But it's been, again, every year we change it a little bit and we grow and we improve. So this is, again, where we're at.
Very nice. Thank you so much. This is very impressive.
Thank you.
This looks super impressive and a great homage to the dead.
Yeah.
And tell me about it, and tell me your name first.
I'm Myles Olivetti. I'm a junior at the Wellesley High School.
And what's going on here?
So this is the Wall of Sound, created by the Grateful Dead in the early 1970s, specifically Owsley Stanley. It was a technological marvel for its time. It created a speaker system that didn't cause feedback when you put the mics close to it. And they made it because they wanted a speaker system that was loud enough so they could hear themselves play.
So this would be on stage?
Yeah. Yep, they built it every single concert, and then they took it down and brought it to the next one.
So wow, that's pretty impressive. And what's the wiring like inside? What does it do to prevent feedback?
So basically, there's for like each vocalist, there was a top mic and a bottom mic, and the top mic was for vocals, and the bottom mic was for ambient sound around them. So it was made to pick up the output, and then it was put into a summing amp in the motherboard, and then it was distributed between each speaker, and it created a clear, crisp sound without distortion. Yeah.
So you are pretty much ready to start your own band at this point.
Yeah.
So what you like best about this project?
I think the kind of the options I had. I had a ton of. I could do anything I wanted. They let me do this project, and it was. They gave me time to build it, and I had a blast. It was so much fun. It was something I loved, and it was amazing.
Why'd you choose the specific one?
I chose the Wall of Sound because I love the Grateful Dead. I knew about the Wall of Sound when I was listening to them, but I kind of wanted to get more in depth with it because I feel like it was a super important part of like their journey.
Can we eat this? Yes, at the end.
Go ahead.
Definitely coming back now. All right, tell me your name.
So my name is Hannah Cobblestone.
And what year?
I'm a junior.
And tell us about this awesome edible project.
So for my project, I learned how to make a professional cake from the design all the way through the baking and learning the chemical reactions that go into it, and then finally learning how to decorate it.
Wow. So how'd you come up with the design for the 3-tier?
So for my design, I actually talked to my nanny because she's turning 98 this month. So it's kind of like in honor of her and her birthday. So I talked to her like the different kinds of flavors and designs that she liked. So yeah.
That's a very cute grandma-inspired project.
Yeah.
And what's the best thing you liked about doing this?
I think learning how to do the decorations and the flowers, because I thought that it would be a lot easier than it actually was, and learning how to like do that and start from somewhere where it didn't look too good, and then somewhere where I'm kind of proud of it. That was fun.
Did you have previous versions?
Yes.
So what version is this one?
This is the third. Yeah.
A lot of finger cramping?
Oh yeah.
Awesome, looks wonderful. I'll be back to eat some.
So this project is about the evolution of makeup marketing. So it ranges from the early 20th century to the late 20th century, and then I have my idea of sort of like a late 21st century beauty campaign. And my vision for this was that sort of makeup of the future would be however you want it to be, regardless of who you are, you know, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your race, anything like that. So I left it up to the viewer to design their own makeup look, and I have some examples here that my classmates did earlier today.
So how long did it take you to compile this?
The physical aspects, about a week, but there was a lot of research that went into it.
And how'd you choose what to do for this?
I've always loved makeup since I was 12. I used to be really into theater, so I would do a lot of stage makeup, and that's really what got me introduced to it. And the culture, just growing up in the time that I did get to, there's a lot of media influence, like YouTube and that kind of stuff. So it was just really easy for my passion and my talent to grow.
Were you excited to take the Evolutions class?
I was so excited. I've been wanting to do it since my freshman year. I just love the idea of it, and I love the projects and the community of it.
So I chose to do the evolution of hip-hop fashion just because I've been in love with fashion ever since I was a young boy, and I make music, so that's why I love hip-hop also. So I just was curious to combine these two and see, give a TED Talk on just my reasons on why it's changed so much. So yeah.
Do you have a video that goes with this?
I have a presentation. I'm going to do a 7:35 in the faculty dining room. I'm going to give a TED Talk on why, different eras and what they wore back then and why it's changed so much. So yeah.
So what's your theory on why it's changed so much?
I feel like it's because of the music now. Because back then it was more lyrical music and it wasn't really about the beat. But now since it's a new generation, everybody just wants to hear the beat and how good the beat drops and not really listen to what the artists are really saying in the songs. So I feel like more drugs have gotten definitely hip hop culture more frequent. So I feel like it's changed up the style and how these rappers dress nowadays. So yeah.
And I see you're a Gucci fan?
Yeah, definitely a Gucci fan.
And who's your favorite hip hop artist?
I would definitely say Lil Uzi Vert, just because I have him in my slide at the end, because he's really got me into hip hop. I'm really listening into it, and he's why I started making music, so definitely have to have him in there.
Nice. And what was your favorite part about doing this and putting it together?
Definitely just in my slides, I had to come up with my own outfit, what I would wear if I was like around during that time back then. So I really love like putting outfits together and stuff, and it's just I love to like take all the different things and put them together to make an outfit. So I just had fun with the whole process.
Are parents allowed to hire you as a closet consultant?
Definitely.
Available?
I don't charge much.
Okay, all right. I'll put the word out there.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I've always been interested in paranormal activity, and so when I heard that I got the choice to choose what I wanted to do, I automatically thought of this.
Wow. And what was the best part of doing this?
Probably the experience, because I have had paranormal experiences in the past, but actually going out and ghost hunting was so fun.
You went ghost hunting?
Yes.
In Wellesley?
In Boston.
Did you go through the old graveyard, the old like pilgrim graveyard trail?
No, I went to the Omni Parker House Hotel in Boston, which is the most haunted hotel in Boston.
I did not know that.
Yes.
And you have a video?
Yes.
Is that from the hotel?
Yes. So this is a 30-minute video, but I'm going to be showing a 10-minute version in the FDR at 8:10.
So basically my project, I learned the importance of comedy by teaching myself stand-up comedy. So over here I have a setup of my performance for the improv troupe a couple weeks ago. And basically my goal was to show and sort of be a test subject of my own of how humor and laughing every single day really affects the body and the mind. Like, there are cases of people who recovered from diseases and sicknesses that it wasn't looking good just by laughing with their friends and family. There's a constant debate over the lunches, and people say first lunch is too early, third lunch is too late. Personally, I'm not a big fan of third lunch because you get there and it's basically a barren wasteland. You've got you get your food and then you head over to the chips and there's like one bag of chips left, and it's not Doritos, it's not Lay's, it's like reduced fat Tostitos scoops. And so you're like, you know what, it's fine, I'm just gonna be healthy today, and you're just looking at the bag and it's like, no, please buy me, I need love, and you're like, and I learned a ton about sort of stand-up comedy and that as a whole just by watching other people laugh and laughing myself and deciding things that really made me laugh and what I could teach to other people. And something that I would advise for other people who, if you feel like you don't laugh enough, something that I did is I wrote down for a whole week everything that made me laugh, like a good laugh, and then at the end of the week I went through my phone to that list and just walked myself through everything that made me laugh, and it was one of the best days I've had in a long time. So it's really great what laughter can do for the human body and the mind.